Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Talk. I know I haven't done a Tuesday Talk in a while, but there have been some juicy topics out there that I just had to chime in on. You already know I had to put in my 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cents to this foolishness out there. So I have been just completely, and then it's not even coming from a place of negativity in any way, shape, or form, because me being a college student, my way of thinking has evolved, and so I try very hard not to be too one-dimensional in my thinking. And so when I heard about all of this upset over the Oscars, honestly, I have no clue what the big deal is. I really don't. So for those of you who are unaware, I will give you a brief synopsis on what the whole drama is all about. Now, you all know who Will Smith is. He was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence. He's a very popular movie African-American actor. Now, he just recently put out this movie called Concussion, which I personally would like to see because, it's an interesting topic. And, I just, the whole premise of the movie to me is interesting. I could care less whether he plays in the movie or not. I just thought the topic was interesting. Well, anyway, I guess for whatever reason he felt that he did a great job in the movie and he was nominated for an Oscar. And everybody was so happy and so proud and just so overjoyed that he was nominated. Now that all of the winners have been announced, he was not a part of the winner's circle. So his wife, Jada Pinkett-Smith, took to Facebook and sent out a video, or made a video, expressing her disdain or upset over why her husband, over the reason why, I guess, or over why her husband didn't get an Oscar. Now, that was the first, actually that wasn't the first video response that I saw. The first video response to Will Smith not getting the Oscar was of Janet Hubert. Janet Hubert, for those who need a refresher, because we all do, because she hadn't really done a whole lot since. She was also on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She played Aunt Vivian. She was the dark-skinned woman that played the mom of the show. She was Aunt Viv. And her and Will Smith got into it because she didn't like a lot of the things that he was doing, and she felt that since he was so much of a star on the show, he should negotiate a higher salary. And of course the show was very, very popular for very many, 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 many years. And she felt that Will Smith, since he was the star of the show, should have had a more active voice in getting the cast higher raises. Well, Will Smith was pretty much young, dumb, and all about himself. And so he was just like, listen, I got my deal, you need to get your deal. I ain't worried about nobody else. I got my money. Y'all need to get your own money on your own terms by your own self. So, of course, because of whatever issue that those two had, which ultimately contributed to the demise of her being on the show, and being on anybody else's show for that matter, because I ain't seen her been on nothing since. She's a little bit bitter. Okay, a lot of bit bitter. She's very, very bitter about that. And when this whole issue with Will Smith not getting an Oscar came out, Janet Hubert made a video saying, ha ha ha, pretty much, so to speak, not literally, but just figuratively, like, you see how you turned your nose up at us, now you know how it feels to not be recognized or validated for your efforts. And I'm just like, okay, didn't you get paid $20 million for this movie? Like, why you mad? I don't understand why are you mad? You know what would make me mad is if they didn't pay me what I was worth. What does a statue have to do with your efforts in a movie? To be honest with you, I really never understood the syllogism of award shows. I just don't get it. You have a bunch of people who you rely heavily on their opinion, obviously, because if they say that you're not worthy, or if they didn't choose you as the winner, or as, you know, the top notch, then for whatever reason you're just not worthy. And I really don't understand this whole society of folks who just looking for a pat on the back. Like, to me, the pat on the back is the fact that they paid your tail $20 million. You get $20 million per movie. Like, if that ain't, if I can go on a job for a few months and make $20 million just for a few months of work, that's validation enough. You understand what I'm saying? And furthermore, Will Smith and his wife are not known, are not well known in the black community for doing anything for anybody but themselves. They run around with Tom Cruise. They trying to be Scientologists. Don't know what that's about, and they immerse themselves in this culture because they feel accepted, because they've been labeled, well, he has been labeled an A-list actor, and so he feels in part, that he's accepted in this whole genre of actors. And in all actuality, he really isn't. He's just a black actor. And one person that made a video in response to the situation said that many of the black actors that have won Oscars, it's pretty much caused their career to go downward, not upward. Jamie Foxx won an Oscar, Jennifer Hudson won an Oscar, Monique won an Oscar, and so did Denzel Washington. Have you seen them in anything significant since? No. And what does that tell you? Now that they have this Oscar win under their belt, now they're demanding more. Demanding more of a creative voice in their movies, demanding more of a paycheck, which means directors don't want to, or studios for that matter, are not going to pay you. Not when they can pay Susie White Girl $20 million less than they pay you. Why should they? It's just all a big sham, if you ask me. It's all a big sham, and I really don't understand why people are so doggone mad. These award shows have been racist since the day that they were created. They may nominate and select a couple of black folks every few years. Every 10 or 15 years, they'll allow somebody to win. I don't watch them personally because it's the same dance. Why waste your time to listen to a bunch of dry jokes that don't make that. I can't relate to none of the jokes because I don't find them funny. Listen to a bunch of dry singing. Listen to a bunch of dry actors. See a bunch of dry people win. Win awards for work that to me is like substandard. But that's just my opinion. A lot of it is good, but most of the stuff you're like, huh? Really? You got an award for that? And what irritates me is that when they do give black folks awards, it ain't for nothing significant. It's not for, like, for instance, Halle Berry did a beautiful job playing Dorothy Dandridge. Did she get an award for that? No. Denzel Washington has done so many significant roles. He played Malcolm X. He should have gotten it for Malcolm X. Did he get? No, he got it for Training Day. Training Day, really? A stereotypical role where he played a crooked cop. Same thing with Halle Berry, Monsters Ball, where she was ran through on the floor by some dude. That's out of all of the work that these people have done, and they've done significant just wonderful pieces of just wonderful films, you give them awards on something that they probably want to forget doing. You know, and it's just, I don't understand it. You know, I really don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't even understand why everybody's so upset and making such a huge deal. This crap has been going on for centuries. Oh, and then we have dummy Stacey Dash. If you don't know who Stacey Dash is, for whatever reason, like my tongue is in the way. She was like the only black person in Clueless, and that was like 20 years ago. And for what I understand, she hasn't done anything significant herself. Has the unmitigated gall to get on Fox and Friends, the most racist news show out there, and say, oh, I don't think that black people should have separate shows. There shouldn't be a BET, you know, centric or TV One because that's racist. And I'm just like, okay, so are we supposed to still keep watching Fox, you know, NBC, and all of these shows, all of these networks that are predominantly white? The majority of television is predominantly white. Like, give me a break. I was so happy to see that new show that they have out with that Asian guy, you know, and I'm just like, they finally get a show. You know, Eva Longoria has her own show, you know, telenovela. You know, I love to look at, I have Comcast, so I love to get on demand and see that there's an all Hispanic on demand. All Hispanic, not all Hispanic on demand, but all Hispanic, they have their own network as well, where they show all Hispanic movies and stuff. It's nothing wrong with that. You know, when are we, the people of color, the minorities, the people that, you know, make up most of this country's, you know, population, when are we going to have shows that reflect us? I want my child to watch television and not only see white girls, but I want her to see black girls, brown girls, you know, Asian girls. I want her to see all types of different types of people on television, not just white people all the time. It's just not fair. But to get pissed off about it and to keep griping about it, it's just like, come on, really? Like, why are you surprised? Oh, because you thought you was in there with them? Like, come on. You know what's validating? Validating is money. You understand what I'm saying? Because we've been fighting for so long. Like, who cares what you think about me? Who cares if you think I did a great job or not? But just pay me what I'm worth. You give me that check, you ain't got to say nothing else. That is my thank you. My check, my $20 million check. You know, I can care less if you think what I did was great or significant at all. I can care less. What I care about is that you paid me well. Now, you're never going to get paid the same amount of money as so-and-so and so-and-so and so. You know? You're never going to. The playing field is not even. It never will be. As long as you have people in positions of power that are in those positions specifically to keep folks from, you know, gaining popularity or just excelling in the movie business, is never going to happen. There was a big thing a few months ago where Idris Elba was considered to play Bond, and the director, James Bond, 007, that movie franchise, and the director felt like he was too urban, or he wasn't polished enough, like he wasn't sophisticated enough to play James Bond. And that was insulting in itself, but it's not surprising. You know, we got to stop being so damn surprised. Oh my God, they don't think we're good enough. It's just like, okay, and move on. You know, I've learned a long time ago, and it's all come through trial and error. A part of our natural makeup, you know, and I get it, is wanting to be accepted, because I went through it too. I went through it too. I wanted to be a part. I've always wanted somebody to say, oh, you did a great job, or to say, oh, great job, way to go, you know. But as I get older, you know, and more mature, I'm starting to realize that it really does not matter. You have to encourage yourself. I am so glad Donald Lawrence made that song. It's a song by Donald Lawrence. You know, I mostly listen to gospel music, and so he wrote this song called "Encourage Yourself." Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to see victory during the test. You know, you have to encourage yourself. You know, you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't depend on nobody else to say, way to go, job well done, you're wonderful. You have to create shows that celebrate you. If they won't give you a pat on the back, pat your own stuff on the darn back. You know, tell your own stuff thank you. You know, but don't not show up to BET Awards. Don't not support the NAACP Awards. But the first chance you get, you'll put on a tuxedo and run to the Oscars, and when they don't recognize you, all of a sudden you mad, and your feelings hurt. Come on, man, sit down somewhere. You know, and get involved in community activism. You know, people get so sick and tired of rich, entitled black folks who have made it, you know, in words of you now, you're in the top 10% as far as finance-wise, you know, but you never come back to the community where you first started out, and you do nothing for the community. But when you get ignored by your peers who you thought you were cool with because y'all in the same tax bracket, all of a sudden you looking for black folks to just be by your side and sing "We Shall Overcome" because you didn't get your nomination or you didn't win an award. But all the rest of the time we don't see you. I used to go to a mega church a long time ago, and predominantly black, well, all black. And it was so irritating to me around election time in Miami. Around election time, we would always get these white politicians that show up. Never see them any other time. Never come by when during the funerals, when these 15, 16, 17-year-old black boys get shot up in the street, when folks get hurt by police and different things happen in the community. Never see their face. But as soon as they get ready to run for office, everybody and their mama trying to come to church and want to talk to the people and uplift the people and encourage them. You know I'm for y'all, vote for me. And I'm just like, really? Okay, no. It's just ridiculous. It's just really, and the same crap applies to black folk. You know, the Lord blessed me to be, if the Lord, because I know where I come from. I grew up middle class, I grew up well, but when I moved out of my parents' house, I did struggle a lot. I struggled, and so I understand that. Once I graduate from college and I start my career, if the Lord decides to bless me indeed and enlarge my coast, I'm not going to sit back and say, okay, I'm going to join the latest country club and hang out with these folks, you know. No, I'm going to do what I can do for my community to make it better so that other people can be inspired to go to college and educate themselves and do well for themselves. Not sit back on my high horse and expect to be accepted by folks who in all actuality behind closed doors really do not accept you, will never accept you. And I know a lot of white folks are, you know, always saying, oh, I didn't have anything to do with slavery, so why are you still mad about slavery? If you have no clue what took place, please go get a history book and read. Please. And that's why I love college so much, and I'm so glad I went to college. Well, I'm still in college. You know what I'm saying? I am so glad because I learned so much about black history in my regular old history book. The atrocities that took place in this country to build this country to where it is today. As far as I'm concerned, black folks could create as many separate shows as they want to create, as many as they want to, because they built this country and made everything in it. Why not? I'm not talking about folks that chose to come over here. I'm talking about a group of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of black people who are living just as happily ever after in Africa, kidnapped from their land and treated worse than animals, treated as property, came here forced to slave and work for centuries, and folk were cool with it, treated like dogs, brutally, just completely brutalized in every way imaginable. But we gotta forget that. That doesn't matter. Are you crazy? Come on now, be for real. The Bible says people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and that is very, very true. How are we supposed to change history if we know nothing about history? You know, you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Dr. Phil says it all the time. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. You know, racism is real. You know, it's real and it exists. And it's going to exist if people don't take a stand and say, you know what, we're not going to tolerate it anymore. You know. And so, I know I went on a tangent, and that's what I do. Y'all know. But I'm not mad, because it is what it is. It's been that way for years. I stopped watching the Grammys. I stopped watching just shows. Because it's just like, what for what? We ain't gonna win. What's the point? And it's boring. It's just boring as all hell too. Just boring. They get up there and tell the driest jokes, and you're like, okay, come on, speed it along. Let's go. The only time I'll watch a show is if somebody that I like is nominated, and I'll just flip back and forth until they get, you know. And once that part is over with, I tune out. There's no point. So for everybody that's mad, stop being mad. Being mad is like a waste of energy, a waste of time. It is what it is, you know. Instead of being mad, create opportunities that will highlight your people's accomplishments. You know, they should have they have what they had, the Latin Grammys. You know, they should have an award show, you know, highlighting all types of people, but they don't, you know. But if you want to see change, you have to be a part of change too. You can't be a part of the problem and then expect folks to just forget about what you haven't been doing and then rally around you because you mad. Welcome to reality. Alright, y'all, if y'all have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you think. Peace out.